Alright, that was a thing called Jazz and Boogie Blues, and that was inspired by the playing of French guitarist Alain Giroux and the American Doug Baker, and also a very little bit of Woody Mann. And we're in standard tuning. Here are my E's. And if you're interested in the tablature, I tapped out the whole thing. Do open the video description for a link to my website. So let's start with the first verse. And first we have a, I don't know if I did it really 4 times, that measure. Temp, index, like that. Important is that if you play this too fast, you're gonna have to play the rest also fast. So watch out for the tempo there. Don't go too fast. Alright, so what we're doing, we have a G chord, and I use my 2 fingers to play, after I play the bass notes, those treble notes. And we're doing like that. And I use my 2nd finger, and even going to the 3rd fret of the 4th string. It's a bit crowded there, but it works. By the way, you can, if that's too difficult for you, you can play the open G string. Like that. And we play that twice. And that's also an important thing, that you don't go too fast. You see in the 5th measure, we're changing chords in the middle of the beat. Change to a C, where we fret, we keep the pinky on the 3rd fret 1st string, and the index finger goes to the 2nd string 1st fret. So measure 5 again. I did it. Sorry, like this. Sorry. Jesus. And then we do the same figure, but with a C chord. Just once, and then we're going back. And again, in the last beat of the 7th measure, we're changing chords in the middle of the beat. And G. And again, in the last beat, we're changing chords to a D, 1st position D. So again, measure 9. And change. And this might be difficult. I'm playing a guitar with a very short scale, so the frets are more closer together. If this is difficult to get the pinky to the 4th fret of the 4th string, then use a capo. Be smart. Measure 10. And again we're changing to a C now. And back to G. I play alternatively temp, temp, index, mid, so temp, temp, index, temp, index, temp, index. And we're losing the alternating bass there for the 3 beats in measure 13. Alright, the second verse. So important here and in the whole song, by the way, is again the muting. I know it sounds boring. I'm repeating and repeating that endlessly. I think good muting is very important in blues. So and here I'm muting with my picking finger. G7 and pinky to the 3rd fret 2nd string, and we're walking into our C chord. So one more time. And you can accent that. And again, bass and to a G chord in measure 20. Pinky does all the work there. And in the last beat of measure 21, I'm sliding with the pinky into the 5th fret 2nd string, and I'm forming a D7. And then, since this song is inspired by or influenced by Doug Baker, and he plays a lot of songs in G using the temp rap, and then you free up your other fingers for doing stuff on frets which you normally can't reach if you play a normal G chords. So in measure 22, I'm using the thumb wrap and pinky to the 6th fret, index, 3rd finger, and back to our normal G chord. One more time, that's from the D7, measure 22. And again, I keep the sound short. You can use by moving your fretting finger or using your middle finger to mute. Alright, the 3rd verse. Alright, in measures 26, 27 and 28 you have the same thing. So I'm moving my pinky and the 3rd finger to the 3rd fret, 2nd and 4th string. And a partial C chord and open. And you see that you can keep it simple and play. Or you can add the 3rd string. Or also good is only that A sharp there on the 3rd fret 3rd string. G, second page of the tab, measure 29, and walking into our C. E flat 7, and hit it. Just arpeggio. Now D flat 7 is of course your D7 moved up one fret, and the index is added to the first fret, 4th string. And you can do different right hand, of course. As long as you play one measure, 4 beats of that E flat 7. And then in measure 32 we're going back to our and in measure 33 I wrote out the last beat, an open deco string, but I think in the performance I replaced it with the 2nd fret of the 5th string. Going to that D7 and to our C7 via that bass. So you got a lot of nice bass move there. Alright, fourth pass, 4th verse. Play it slowly one more time. Alright, we go in Doug Baker mode. This is typical of his playing. And I played a song called Might Be the Weather a long time ago, which uses some of these moves. That song was, well, very difficult to play, where a lot of single string runs into, so it was difficult and hard to keep the timing. But this is an easy way out, but with some cool things. Alright, we're starting measure 38. Notice that I keep it short. Keeping also those basses short will make your melody more pop out. And again, I'm using flesh and nail mixed in between to get that. Very cool G7. You expect, of course, something like this, but in measure 40. I'm pinching the open 3rd and 4th string and upstroke with the index that 3rd fret on the 4th string. So measure 40. And we're keeping that, and the 2nd and the 4th beat we're playing with the thumb downstrokes. And the 3rd beat is like that. So measure 40 and 41 one more time. That's a real cool way to play our C chords. Normally C is alternating basses. We have that E here, so why not play the open? Like that. I think it's so simple, but again I say Why didn't I think of that? And notice that especially that first beat in measure 42, so that I'm keeping that short because that really doesn't sound cool. And in the second beat I'm pinching third fret 5th string and the open D string, and I see I omitted that you should see measure 42 played exactly how it is written in measure 66, and there you see I didn't forget to do that in one pick there by hammering on and hammering on, 2 hammer-ons. So measure 42. Keep it short. Back to G, 44, measure 44. And we're using the temp wrap to be able to play that. Looks like your partial D7 moved up to the G, of course. D7, pull off, hammer on, hammer on. And I'll see again with D7 to end in measure 49. Okay, the next verse. Again, a lot of Dick Baker work. So I'm starting with an arpeggio, and you have to mute it because you don't want that. And we're using the temp wrap. And in the 52nd measure, I'm bending and I'm using 2 fingers, as I often do when I have to do bends, and there is room for a 2nd finger, and release, and a G7 with a pinky on the 3rd fret 4th string. C. Keeping it cool there. Unusual bass in measure 56, 3rd page. Very often those riffs are horn-like almost. D, C, and again our bass. And resolving in the D7. All right, last. Well, the 6th pass. Sorry. 5th fret, yes, 5th fret, 2nd string, while playing our alternating bass. And one more time. Moving to our G7. With the 3rd fret, with the F in the bass there. Again, we're going to use our alternating bass between the 6th and the 5th string for the C run, and keep it short. Da, 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 da. Here we're using the thumb wrap again. Sorry. Da, 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 da. Really cool riff there. And keep it short. I didn't do that correctly. D, C, G. And then I simply repeated the first verse again. Don't have to explain that once more to end the whole thing, and I think I ended in on the G7. Yeah, that's it for Jazz and Boogie Blues. Have fun with it.